Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic, exciting episode of the Gridiron Glory with Will and Tad. Uh, Diving more into our preseason series. We're going team by team here in the month of August. The most exciting time of the year, right? We're starting to, get hyped up. Every team is excited. Everything's fresh. So, with that being said, let's get into what should be a very interesting situation this season for the Cleveland Browns, Tad. I mean, you got a number of 5 or 6 different quarterbacks right now in that QB room. Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Um, you know, this is kind of a very crazy situation that we got going on. There in Cleveland, and at the time of this recording, I will say I was pretty impressed by what I saw from Shedeur Sanders in his first preseason game. Um, he will not be starting in the second one. I believe they got Dylan Gabriel going for that one, if I'm not mistaken, right, Tad?
I think he's kind of working through an injury, and if he's cleared, they want him to start.
Nonetheless, I mean Kevin Stefanski. Um, but I would say he easily probably has the toughest role being the head coach this season. I mean, he's going to have to make an incredibly tough decision. I mean, well, obviously they're going to go with Flacco, but what I'm really saying is, Tad, that one of these guys, I mean, not all of these guys are going to be on the roster come August 27th,
Yeah.
28th, when the preseason ends, whenever. Um, Not all of these guys are going to be on this roster. And Kevin Stefanski, he's got an extremely emotionally tough decision that he's going to have to make with some of these guys. Um, but that one of these guys is also going to push for Joe Flacco's job at some point or another. And I mean, can Joe Flacco stay healthy? We love Joe Flacco. We're big on him. He is extremely elite. He's a super seasoned veteran, if nothing else, at this point.
Mhm.
A Super Bowl champion, a former MVP. I mean, the dude's a legend. I mean, we are very high on Joe Flacco, and I'd like to personally ask you, Tad, where would you rank him amongst all time quarterbacks that like
Yeah,
in your era of football?
I will say I'd rank the specifically the Flacco bomb, the game-winning touchdown pass in the postseason. I'd rank that as arguably a top two or three postseason moment of all time. I know it hurts my co-host to hear it, but it's really like the epitome of Joe Flacco's legacy in that playoff run. Um, so that was a big moment there. He's the guy right now for now in Cleveland. Obviously, you draft the two quarterbacks, Gabriel Sanders. You're hoping that one of them is going to be your quarterback of the future. And I mean, if the first preseason game is any indication, it seems Sanders is trending well, and Gabriel's going to get a shot too. I'm sure he'll get a shot. But it seems like there's a good chance that this QB competition, it could go well into the season, maybe even into the next season, but this is not something that's going to be resolved quickly, and it's going to be interesting to see which direction they elect to go.
Yeah. So I can't sit here and help but think exactly everything that you just said because Browns fans just tack on another name. You've seen those jerseys where like fans will have like jerseys or shirts or jackets of
Mhm.
all the starting quarterbacks' names that they've just had over the years, and just let's continue to add to what's been that roller coaster ride exactly for Cleveland Browns fans. And it's just been tough. I mean, from their perspective, Tad, they got to be some of the toughest fans in football, truly. So,
Yeah.
Browns fans, if you're watching this, shout out to y'all. But yeah, outside of the quarterback room, we know what the quarterback room is. Let's get outside of it. Starting with wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver one, incredible player coming into his 5th year out of Alabama, the former 15th overall pick out of the first round. You know, I mean, he was a big time playmaker. I mean, the game against Denver and Monday Night Football last year, Browns versus Broncos. I mean, Jerry Jeudy went back there, made some incredible plays and everything. So, whoever the starting quarterback is, I mean, well, I mean Joe Flacco. Yeah, he's going to have to really look for, Jerry Jeudy to, I mean, carry this receiving core. So,
Yeah, I
Bulls.
would I would certainly agree with that take. I mean, Jerry Jeudy is the lead receiver, and the real question is, can anybody step up behind him to sort of take the load off? I mean, because you don't want him to be the only one catching the passes. You want to have reliable players elsewhere. So a big year for guys like Cedric Tillman going into his third year, Jamari Thrash going into his second year, and you bring in Deontay Johnson, the veteran. He's had quite the run. The last years going from team to team had some questionable efforts the last few years. Can he sort of revive his career a bit? So stuff like that. Can you get an unexpected player to step up in the receiver room? I think that's something that they would definitely
And
need.
you certainly can. You could certainly get a guy like Deontay Johnson, David Bell, DeAndre Carter, Jamari Thrash, Cedric Tillman, one of these guys to really step up. But to me, outside of these guys, that it's going to have to be like one of those guys who's going to have to really step up and bring
Yeah.
it to the next level. But outside of that, your second best target that you're going to have to go to is tight end David Njoku. And I'd like to ask you where you'd rank David Njoku amongst tight ends, Tad.
I'd see David Njoku as an above average tight end. Um, Top 15 for sure, maybe borderline on just the outside of the top 10, but I think he's a fairly solid tight end, and with quality quarterback play, I think he could be unlocked a bit. And I think it's also worthwhile to note that Cleveland did draft Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end out of Bowling Green in the third round. So that provides some depth in the tight end room. So they will have some options there if they can't find another reliable wide receiver. They have options in the tight end room as well to sort of take the pressure off.
I mean, I would definitely look for, Harold Fannin Jr. to get involved in this offense as well. I mean, one thing I know about Harold Fannin Jr., I only caught him in a couple of games last year at Bowling Green, but just um, he can definitely do what he needs to do, and I feel like he can go out there and he can be a serviceable tight end.
Yeah. Um, the running back room is in a very interesting spot when you draft the two rookies. Of course, Kinshawn Judkins out of Ohio State. You draft him in the second round, your highest offensive player, and then you double back in the fourth round and get Dylan Sampson. So you add two players to the running back room. Jerome Ford is the leader in the clubhouse there. So a lot of questions how you're going to split touches in the running back room as well. So it seems there's quite a lot of questions about the Cleveland offense and which way they go. But I know Judkins, the national champion out of Ohio State, had a very high quality year, and I think he could be a top 3 or 4 rookie running back in the league coming out of school. So that's going to be interesting to see how early they get him involved and how much. And then Dylan Sampson, the SEC Offensive Player of the Year a year ago. So you got some options there. It's a fairly unproven but deep running back room.
I mean, it really is like Jerome Ford. Obviously, he's a very gritty running back. I mean, he's going to get his yards. He can chug out yards. He can go out there. Play the job well. So, I mean, they're going to have to heavily rely on him to go out there and do exactly that. Um, so this is just I don't know. I'm still not like super high on this team overall, to be honest with you, especially on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the offensive line is like kind of weird. I mean, you got some older players and you also got some younger players. So, I mean, PFF not too high on the offensive line. They only got them at a 27 rate. Um, you know, they got Jones, the left tackle, at a 46. Conklin, the right tackle, at a 66. I mean, yeah, I mean this Browns offensive line. So what they're saying is like they're obviously very low on them. Um, you know Joe Benito, Wyatt Teller. They mentioned that they might be a solid enough guard duo, but Tad, I mean, this is just it. It doesn't help with the quarterback room situation. Doesn't help with the wide receiver room situation either. So, um, not that those go hand in hand, but
Sure.
it's just
And I would like to add that I also find it very questionable that looking at their draft, I don't see a single offensive lineman in their draft.
yes,
And
yeah. You
they
don't
need to get younger. They
that
need to get younger. They have a lot of old offensive linemen that are at best average. I don't mean to like completely be that harsh on them, but even if they were stronger, you got to build up the depth. You got to build up the younger linemen. I mean, you have Zach Zinter from last year out of Michigan. You drafted him in the third round in 2024. So hopefully he can make a push at some point. But at this
and
point, you just need somebody to step up.
need somebody to step up. And boy, I got to tell you, Tommy Reese, he's going to have one of the toughest jobs in the NFL this season, being a
Agreed.
first-year offensive coordinator. He previously served as the tight ends coach and pass game specialist for them in 2024. He does replace Ken Dorsey, um, who Tad is, yes, related to. I'm kidding. Um, so this will be his first stint as an offensive coordinator. Boy, so with a makeshifty offensive line, a very makeshifty quarterback room, you got one very solid receiver in the wide receiver room, and then a bunch of wide receivers that still need to really prove themselves. And same with the running back room. Yeah, I mean Jerome Ford is. I don't know if I'd rank him in the top 32 necessarily, but I mean he's a solid enough back. So just I'm very low on the offensive side of the football for Cleveland. I mean, can Tommy Reese come in here and just make the absolute best out of everything that I just described? That's going to be incredibly hard. So we'll see. Browns fans, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you, Browns fans. Um, the good news is you have this incredible, phenomenally talented, gifted, extremely built. The past 7 seasons, he has recorded double-digit sacks. Yes, I am talking about probably one of the greatest players in the entire NFL, Myles Garrett, the face of this Browns team. I mean, he's a beast. I mean, he's by far the absolute best player on the whole roster. Um, the dude can just disrupt offenses left and right. Quarterbacks are probably peeing their pants a little bit when they see Myles Garrett coming at him full force. So, yeah, where do you rank Myles Garrett amongst NFL players overall?
I mean, you could argue he's top 10 level player in the league. I mean, his impact is immeasurable, and he's a leader on this team. They get him to the contract. It was kind of questionable a bit early in the offseason what his contract was going to look like, a bit of a trade request and all that, but he makes it work. They stay with him in Cleveland, which is something that you could say really needed to happen for just the morale of the team, the fan base. I mean, they need to have somebody to look forward to watching, and he's the one that can do that.
I mean, he can literally keep the Browns in most like the thing about the Browns is because you have Myles Garrett, he can literally keep you in a lot of games. It's just, what we saw, like, again, like their offense just wasn't able to capitalize on Myles Garrett's tremendous performance. But, you also got guys around him like Malik Collins, Mason Graham, Alex Wright. Tad, I'm also going to be looking forward to seeing what Carson Schwessinger can do, the rookie out of UCLA. I'm also going to be really looking to see what some of these other defensive players can do that they drafted, such as defensive tackle Mason Graham out of Michigan. You also went out and drafted. Yeah, that's that. Those are really the two biggest guys that you drafted: Mason Graham, Carson Schwessinger. So, Tad, the wins that the Cleveland Browns are going to probably get this season will come from the defensive side of the football. No question about
I
it.
mean, their defense is a solid unit. They have a very good, you could say, defensive line, especially if Mason Graham, the very early pick in the draft, fifth overall, if he pans out, then Miles Garrett, Malik Collins is solid enough as well, a quality player there on the defensive line, at least a veteran. But this can be a solid defensive line. I'm also interested in Schlesinger. Can he be ready to go right off the bat? I mean, it's risky to start two rookies in the front seven, but I'm glad that they're willing to give that a try. If that does indeed happen, I think that could be strong and it could help move their front seven into a new era.
I mean, PFF does have Cleveland ranked at number 7, um, rank amongst D lines. Oh, I'm sorry, amongst D lines overall in the league. So they're very big on the D line, and so am I. I mean,
Yeah.
because of Miles Garrett alone. I mean, he's just that good. Um, so I'm big on it. I'm really excited to see what he can come out here and what he can still keep bringing to the table. I mean, you mentioned it before, all the great things about that. So they kind of just had like a very weird draft. Like overall, they had a very you go out and draft those
Yeah.
defensive players. Quinshon Judkins, obviously, we touched on him. And then the quarterback situation, Dylan Sampson as well. So yeah, I'm just excited to see what this Browns defense can bring. Like I guess in the sense of for morality. You got some guys in the secondary too that you're going to really need to step up, like Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, Ronnie Hickman. Um, yeah, Dustin Hopkins will be called upon to kick the field goals this year. Um, he is going into the 34-year-old now out of Florida State. He's been very solid for throughout his career, over an 84% kicking percentage. You got Corey Borgiacus. I hope I said that right, Browns fan. But yeah, see, that's the thing. Yeah, we cover everybody. We cover the whole dang team. You're about to really see that. Yeah, so he's going into his 8th season. He's a very solid punter. I'd hate to say it, Browns fans, but we're probably going to be seeing a lot of him on the field.
Yeah, we might see Corey Bojorquez quite a lot out there on that field.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dad, for correcting me just now and not sooner. But yes, apparently that is his name. There's still some of these names I gotta freaking learn, man. So DeAndre Carter. I mean, DeAndre Carter's a very solid returner in the
A
kicking.
veteran.
What?
A veteran, yeah.
He's a veteran returner, if nothing else. But more than anything, Tad, more than anything, if the Browns want to do, I've talked about all these players, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tad, what is the true missing key piece for the Cleveland Browns that they
I mean,
really need?
we're gonna be having a bit of a battle here in the long snapper room, it looks like. So we got two here on the roster. We got the rookie Brent Matchchick coming in and trying to challenge Rex Sunahara for the job. Sunahara was on the team last year. He's been around the league a bit, being undrafted to Miami in 2020. out of Rhode Island and West Virginia, so he split some time there. So this is going to be a very interesting situation to see who's going to be long snapping. And I mean, when you have a battle, like we've talked about all the battles on this team, and it even extends to the most important position on the team, the long snapper room. I mean, and then Matishik out of TCU, that's going to be interesting. He was a team captain in 2024. He recovered a punt against Cincinnati, a muffed punt, I should say. He recovered. So it's going to be interesting. They don't even know for sure who their long snapper is going to be. So just a lot of uncertainty, and it extends from offense to defense to special teams here with Cleveland. Less so the defense.
There you have it. Our very exclusive long snapper news and report from Rex Sunahara out of West Virginia, who is in a battle. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow to the
Do you
Gridiron
want to say
Sports.
really quickly? I do think I'd see Cleveland being a team that wins about 4 to 6 games, perhaps.
Oh yeah. That's. I'm not really big on them. 3 to 5, 3 to 5. You're a little bit bigger on them than I am, I guess. Tad, I would even be as fair to say 2 to 5. I Call me crazy, 1 to 5. I do think y'all win at least one game, but 1 to 5 wins, quite literally. I am sorry, Browns fans. That's not a knock on you guys. You guys deserve all the wins in the world for being the dedicated, loyal fans you are. But I mean, your team just still has tons of work to do as usual. I don't know when it'll end. I don't know when that light will be at the end of the tunnel for you guys, but prayers. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow the Gridiron Glory podcast here with Will and Tad, where we cover all 32 teams. And thank you for watching.